Obviously, 2016 is come and gone. We're actually a couple months into 2017. What? Almost 3 months into 2017. What was your favorite
Yeah.
game of 2016?
When I was researching this and I was kind of looking at lists of my game collection and stuff, it was really hard to decide. There was a lot of good games, and I think overall, I would have to say it would be Dark Souls 3. I mean, that and Bloodborne are really close. I love playing both of those. I love the challenge. I love the graphics. There's not much of a story, which I wish they would fix in the
There's
future.
some lore. There's some lore to it,
Yeah, there's lore, but there's not like a lot of cutscenes. I mean, just when like bosses appear or whatever. But
which is awesome.
you know, yeah, the boss fights are good. They fixed a lot of things that they did wrong in Dark Souls 2. Uh, it was challenging without being too tough. I really really liked it a lot.
Hmm. So much that you're still ready to play some more in 2017.
I know I keep bugging you guys to get on. What was your favorite game?
My favorite game of 2016. Now, I've never ever liked these types of games in my whole life. Like, I've always kind of went with the action or RPG or something with story driven. But Overwatch was actually my favorite 2016 game. Um, and I'm usually really, and I'm not good at the game, but I'm usually always horrible at first person shooter type games. And this one's like team based, and I think is my first sense of actually playing a game, and it actually matters how well you communicate with the team and what the characters you pick. I mean, you can pick. Every game could be different. I mean, they don't have too many game modes, which I'm absolutely fine with. I think there's enough characters to make it a new experience almost every time you play. Um, New
Yeah,
things can
I think
happen.
I would have to agree that it is a fantastic game. They really nailed it. You know, I mean, aside from being a first-person shooter, which maybe not everyone would enjoy, like you said,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons I didn't get into it first. I was like, oh, first-person shooter, competitive, you know, but after playing it, yeah, they really nailed the balance, the learning curve. You can see like each character is easy. All the controls are basically the same. It's just what the characters do is different.
Hmm.
So learning what they do, how best to utilize that. Yeah, like you said, communication with your team, so you can actually see when the other team does really well and communicates well. That it makes a difference. It's not just because one player decided to pick, a different item at the beginning of the game, like some,
Like a
you
MOBA.
know, yeah, like a MOBA, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So if you decide to go gung ho and lone wolf, it might work out and you might save your team, but more often than not, yeah, you need to communicate and be in sync,
Yeah.
and you know, and there's a learning curve for that too. So you can see how the higher level people play,
Hmm.
and there's no incentive to, you know, play for hours and hours and hours on end, right? Because you're not gonna
Leveling up doesn't
get
matter.
any new items, right? Leveling up doesn't net you anything. However, you just play for your own fun and enjoyment and
Hmm.
getting better at the game,
Right.
which I think is all super important.